Crusaders, this is Miss Morales. I was asked by your teachers to kind of recap exactly what is our problem-solving model. We know that with the new choice boards that are out, you have an option on every choice board to do one word problem, but we would like for you to remember exactly what is our problem-solving model. So we are going to use our question right here, our problem-solving model. Remember, it is analyze, plan, solve, and justify. So let's go ahead and get started. Ashton had 2 boxes of 14 pencils. He gave 6 pencils to his brother. How many pencils did Ashton have left? So remember, when we're doing our problem-solving model, we do 3 reads. 3 reads to help us. The first read is going to be, who is the story about? Well, we just finished reading this, and the story is about Ashton. And we know Ashton has a brother. Let's see, what else? We know there was Ashton. We know there was his brother. And another thing was, oh, they had something to do with pencils. So, after we complete our first read, then we read it again, and this time we're going to look for the math facts. So when we read it the second time, we're going to write down any math facts we know. So it says, Ashton had 2 boxes of 14 pencils. So we know that this right here is our number 2. All right? We also know he had 14 pencils. He gave 6 pencils to his brother. How many pencils did he have left? So we know he had 2 boxes of 14 pencils. And we know that he gave 6 pencils to his brother. So remember, the first time we read, we're just reading about who's the story about. The second time we read, we're looking for all the important math stuff. Then, our last read is going to help us with our plan. We're going to plan out what we're going to do in our third read. So, Ashton had 2 boxes of 14 pencils. He gave 6 pencils to his brother. How many pencils did Ashton have left? So we're trying to figure out how many pencils Ashton had left. So, I'm trying to figure out, is this a 1-step or a 2-step problem? Is there something I'm going to have to do before I can even figure out what Ashton has left? Yeah, that's good. Let's say he has to do 2 boxes of 14 pencils. So we have a hidden question here. Our hidden question is, how many pencils did he start with? If we don't know how many pencils he started with, how can we figure out how many he has left? So when we solve, we're going to have to think of this as a 2-step problem. So, Miss Morales loves to draw pictures. Y'all know that. So, I'm going to decide to solve with pictures. So, I know we have Ashton. And y'all know I can't draw, right? So, here's my little Ashton. He has 2 boxes with 14 in each. Then we have his brother. So let's label. This is Ashton, and this is his brother. Once I figure out how many pencils, we know that he gave him 6. So that's 5, 6 pencils. So when I think of this, I'm going to have to do something to figure out my total. That was my hidden question over here. So if I have 2 groups of 14, that means I have to do 14 times 2. Now, your teachers have taught you lots of ways to multiply. Miss Morales is going to multiply using partial products. So let's come down here. 14, I'm going to break it up into 10 plus 4. All right, and let's times this by 2. Well, I know my math facts, and I know that 10 times 2 is 20, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we can say that Ashton started with 28 pencils. But then he gave some to his brother, right? So my next step is going to be 28. And if he gave them to his brother, that means he no longer has them. So how many pencils did he have left? He has 22 pencils. Our last part of our problem-solving model is to justify. We have to figure out, how do I know I am correct? Is there another method I could do to help me make sure I did this correctly? Do I always have to multiply? No, I could do 14 plus 14 minus the 6 pencils I gave my brother. 14 plus 14 is still 28. And when I take it away, I still get 22 pencils. So when I justify, I can explain my work another way. All right. So if I explain my work another way, I just justified my work to show that I got the same thing. But what happens if I got 2 different answers? Then that reminds me that I did something wrong. So when you go and choose on that choice board the problem where you have to solve only one problem, we would like for you to use the plan, analyze, solve, and justify, our 4 square, to make sure that you're doing all the steps and we're not missing any hidden questions, because sometimes they can be tricky. They may not be one-step problems. They could be 2. So if you have any questions, remember to reach out to your teachers, or they will relay their messages to me, and if I need to, I can make another video. All right, bye guys.